Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that is devoted to your spiritual and personal growth. And today I wanted to come on here, excuse me, getting over a cold. Today I wanted to come on here and speak to you about losing your faith. And the reason that I wanted to create this video is because it's something that you guys have been emailing me about a lot lately. And so I wanted to come on here and have this discussion with you. Now, of course, we can lose faith in a lot of things. We can lose faith in ourselves. We can lose faith in a very spiritual foundation that we use to ground us. That can be really scary. So there is a certain type of or a different type of grief and sadness that comes from losing one's faith. And so I wanted to come on here today and again just have that conversation with you guys. So a lot of things can happen when we lose our faith. Maybe there was something horrible that happened to your health, or there was a tragedy that happened with a friend, or maybe it just felt like a lot of things were coming at you at once and it left you wondering, like, is God really out there? Like, does the universe really care about me? And so I have found that when things are going good in our lives, it's easy to have faith, right? It's easy to believe that the universe has our back and that God loves us and that wonderful things are on the way for us. But when you're in that darker place, it can be hard to have faith. And, I've been in that place myself, so I get it. Just about a year ago or a couple years ago, I got to a place in my personal life where I just wasn't sure if I believed in a lot of things. I was like, I don't think I believe in the law of attraction. Like, I don't know if that resonates with me because I had tried to use the law of attraction and it seemed like it wasn't working. And I was like, I don't know if I really believe in angels too. There's a lot of different people saying a lot of different things about this topic and they don't quite resonate with me. So I went through this period. We talked about it once before, like the dark night of the soul. And when you're going through something like that, it's easy to lose faith. And so what I would encourage you guys to do is, when you're in that place where you are losing faith, I want you to just acknowledge that. I want you to be honest about it. And there might be people in your life where excuse me, it's not really safe to speak about those insecurities and those fears that you have. So you may have parents who are very religious. You may have friends who are very enlightened and awakened and seem to be doing good on their spiritual path. And you may be in that place where you're like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm questioning and doubting everything. So I want you to know that it is okay to be in that place. It is absolutely okay. And even though you may not feel the support of the universe, it is okay to feel that way. And it is okay to acknowledge it to yourself and even to God, even to the universe. And I want you to have those deep, intimate conversations with the deities that you believe in. You can tell God, like, look, I don't feel you near me. My life feels really empty right now. I feel like there's this huge hole in my heart that needs to be filled. And I want you to just continue to have those conversations, even if you're in that place where it's like, I don't believe in God anymore. I don't believe the universe hears me. You know what? Talk to it anyway, because what will happen is the more you make your plea and the more you speak out loud, the more you're honest with yourself, things will begin to shift. Because what happens is God, the universe, or whatever force seems to be testing you or feels separated from you, is listening to everything you say and everything you think. So if you are putting that SOS out there and saying, you've got to help me, like, God, if you're real, you've got to help me, what will happen is the energies God, this cough's driving me crazy. What will happen is the energies will begin to change, and God, the universe, whatever you choose to call it, does hear that prayer. He does hear that SOS. And what will happen is different people and resources will begin to come your way that will help to reignite your faith. And it may come in the form of these small little breadcrumbs. It may not be this big event. In fact, in most times, it won't be. It'll be these small little hints, these small little signs that show you God is listening. You're going through a tough time. Things are going to get better, but you have to hang in there. So continue to make that a priority to pray and to talk to the universe and ask for help in this area. I want you to also know that there's no shame in being in that place. Everyone has been there, and anyone who says otherwise is either very young or lying. Those are the only two options. They're so young they've never been through that, or they're just lying because they want you to think that they're, operating at a higher vibration or awareness than anyone else. Or, maybe they haven't gone through it yet. But everyone at some point in their life will doubt their spiritual faith. It happens to everybody. And these moments of doubt, these seasons of doubt, are actually very powerful because once you get through that season of doubt, once you get through the other side, you will come through a very changed person. And once you get on the other side, your faith may change. The things that you believed in may have changed, but you'll have this greater awareness, I want to say, and things will make more sense to you. And you'll also find in most cases that you're more empathic. You're more sympathetic towards people who are going through something difficult like this. So, in your doubt, there are different levels of awareness that are actually beginning to grow inside of you. And there's different answers that are beginning to present themselves to you. You just can't see it yet. So, while this area of doubt feels horrible and empty, it's actually a hidden gift. There are wonderful things that are going to come out of it. And when you come out on the other side, what's magical is that your faith becomes stronger. You become stronger. And when you get on that other side, it seems like for me, what happened with me is like all this synchronistic events just started to happen. Everything I had been praying for and hoping for started to just, I don't know how to say it. It was like I was just blasted with everything I asked for, and it was amazing. So that's the other thing that I want you to do when you're going through this period of losing your faith is I want you to really think about what would reignite it. I want you to think about what type of things need to happen in your life for you to feel safe, for your faith to be restored, for you to really believe that God has your back no matter what. Think about what you need. And for me, what I needed was a very stable home environment. I needed good, solid friends that I could rely on. I needed people that were going to nurture me in a sense because I was so broken down. And so these are the things that I consistently asked for. And within a matter of time, it took a few months, I got it. And when I received it, let me tell you, I did not take it for granted. To this day, every day I wake up knowing how very blessed I am. And I wake up every day feeling very sincere gratitude. And this isn't the type of gratitude that's manufactured where I have to sit down and, open up my gratitude journal and write down things I'm thankful for, even though I'm not feeling thankful in that moment. I am very thankful for everything I have now. And it's not to say that I wasn't thankful before I went through this period of doubt and wondering about faith and doubting angels and God and all that stuff. But it is to say that maybe before that, I took it for granted, whereas now I do not. And when I talk to other when I talk to other people who have been on a similar spiritual path, that archetype journey seems to be very similar. So a lot of people have been through that. So I want you to take care and take note that if you're in that same position where you're doubting God and you're doubting everything, this isn't the end. This is the middle of your story, and things are going to open up to you in ways that you probably didn't think possible. And when that happens, you're going to look back at this chapter and you're going to be like, wow, I'm really glad that I got through that. I'm really glad I stuck it out. I'm glad that I didn't, end my life or do something drastic, and as you look back, you'll start to see all the different lessons that were presented to you there. And you will come out of that feeling more love and more gratitude and more compassion. And hopefully you'll come out of that feeling very proud of yourself too. That's another thing is that when you get through a season of doubt, your confidence in yourself can build. Like once you get on the other side, you look back and you're like, wow, I really am courageous. And wow, I do feel more confident. Like I now know that I can get through just about anything. And, all of us have experienced some type of loss. We've all been sick before. We've all had people die. We've all had friends leave us. We've all left friends. We've all been through that. But there is something significant about losing faith. Like if you're a very spiritual person, if you're interested in philosophies and world religions, and your faith starts to shake, it starts to waver, there's something about that that's extra unnerving, right? It's a different form of grief. And unless you've been through that, you can't even really explain it. But it's a different form of emptiness that seems to just envelop you and it feels bigger than yourself. And so when you're able to get past that, when you are able to get to that solid ground and rebuild your foundation, that's when you realize I can get through anything. Like, and the universe really does have my back. And so I want to encourage you to continue going through that journey and to be very honest with what you're experiencing. And the other thing I want to say too is, earlier I touched on, you need to be careful about who you're opening up to about this. And I didn't say the second part, which is you need to open up to someone about this. You need to find someone who is safe to speak to and who will empathize with you and who will be nurturing towards you and caring and compassionate towards you when you're going through this season in your life. And I would say that you probably want to turn to people who are interested in spiritual things, because people who are probably more into sports or career, they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it. So you want to find safe spiritual people who aren't going to put you down and aren't going to give you the whole, well, you need to raise your vibration crap, because when you're in that place of losing your faith, that's the last thing you need to hear. You need people around you who are saying, I've been there too. I totally get it. I'm sorry you're going through this. Those are the type of people that you need around you. And the type of people who start encouraging you and tell you will get through this, or if there's something you need, let me know. I want to be there to help you. Those are the type of people who are naturally helping you to raise your vibration through their compassion and through their nourishment. And they're the people who are making you feel like, hey, maybe things will be okay on the other side. So you don't need an added guilt trip telling you that you need to be more aware, you need to be more that, or you need to be more. Maybe you need to just be, and maybe you need to be okay with that, and find people that will be empathetic and understanding about that too. Oh my goodness. I had no idea my throat would be going this bad when I decided to do this live. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. So let me go through the comments here, because it looks like a lot of you have been talking to me, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to talk and go through this. So, Cool Kid Gamer Boy, can I get a shout out? Well, yes, you can. There you go. There's your shout out. Sonia Raposo, am I saying that right? Lisa Deva. Oh, hi, Lisa. I think I responded to one of your comments a couple days ago. I know that you left a comment recently, and I'm pretty sure I responded to it. We got Zozo Kocher, Anima, Patricia. I have aggressive fibromyalgia, some other health problems. Yes, sometimes I don't have much faith, but I have to be strong, I guess. Yeah, health problems, that's rough. That's really tough when you're going through health problems, because, health is wealth, right? And fibromyalgia can be really frustrating, because you also have those days when you're feeling maybe not 100%, but you're feeling okay enough to do things. And then the next day it's hard to get out of bed, and every muscle in your being just aches. So I'm sorry that you're going through that. And, what I'm getting for you as far as to help you cope with that is, of course, take it a day at a time. But I also feel like different forms of meditation are going to be really helpful for you. And the type of meditations that I'm feeling for you that would be helpful are the type of meditations where you're out in nature doing the things you really like. And I also feel like teaching yourself how to go into a deeper trance is going to be helpful, because you may be thinking to yourself, well, I've already tried meditation and I enjoy it, but sometimes my body gets in the way. So the key for you is learning how to go even deeper. So you may want to see if you can get an appointment with a trained hypnotherapist that can show you how to do that. because once you're able to go deeper, you can somewhat disconnect from your body, not in a weird way where you're dying or anything like that, but where you're going so deep into your consciousness that that's what becomes more real to you than the signals your physical body are attempting to send to you. So try that. Try meditations. And again, the ones I'm really seeing is where you're out in nature. So I see you surrounded by flowers. I see a bench. I see a park. I see a river. So doing a meditation where you can be outside is going to be just as replenishing as if you actually were outside. And it's also going to cut the pain off for a while so you can really enjoy being in that state. So I hope that's helpful. Let's see, we've got Chris. She said, my husband passed and I lost it for a few hours, but then it came back strong. Or she said, then I meant a few years, not hours. I was like, wow, a few hours? Really? That's it? So a few years and it comes back strong. Yeah, that happens. Where, yeah, it absolutely comes back strong. So I get where you're coming from on that. Psychic Steven, he says, hey, can you give a shout out? I'm a medium. Well, hey, Psychic Steven, this is your shout out. Glad to have you here. April says, it definitely is hard to have faith when being in a dark place and going through things alone. And I felt like that before as well. And even though I'm facing certain challenges, I continue to keep my faith and I allow myself to feel what I feel, but I do my best to release. That is brilliant. And those are such wise words. And for those of you who are in a dark place, April just nailed it. You know, you need to, you face those challenges and you allow yourself to feel what you feel, but you release it when you can. And maybe releasing it is journaling. Maybe it's talking to a friend. Maybe it's going outside and screaming at the top of your lungs when no one is around. But you do have to find a way to process those emotions and get them out. Thank you, Chris. He said, you are so right. We need more people like you. You're a great soul. Thank you. And then Mama Bird says, it's hard when we are going through the necessary life lessons to feel the universe's comforting hand. Yeah, very true. Debbie says, you stunned me when I saw this video pop up. I have lost faith. It's been several years now. I believe a higher spiritual being, but I don't believe in Christianity anymore. It makes me sick to my stomach. Oh, Debbie, I totally understand. Because I left Christianity too. And leaving Christianity is hard, and probably leaving other organized religions are difficult too, because you're also leaving behind your community. And when you do that, it's really tough because you also start to see that people loved you for not necessarily who you are, but they loved you because you fit into that same group that they did. And once you walk away, it's almost like they don't know how to treat you anymore. They don't know what to think about you anymore. And that can be devastating. And then it's also devastating because you kind of go back and forth where you're like, am I turning my back on God? Am I turning my back on religion? Like, am I going to go to hell? You know, there's all these doubts that start to cloud your mind, but also they really wreak havoc on your soul to the point where you can, the confusion in your emotions can almost show up, I want to say, in your body, like you feel that stress in your body. So just continue to work through that and process that. And what's really helpful is to find another community. So whether it's an online community, or even better, if you can find a spiritual community in your area where their beliefs are similar to what you're now starting to become more aware of, that would be great, because there's power in numbers. You know, there's power in community. And when you're in a community of people who have or who can resonate with the same spiritual beliefs that you do, that in and of itself can be very healing. And there are a lot of people in those circles that came from Christianity or other forms, other organized religions. So hang in there, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I'm also proud of you because I know how courageous it is to step away from the I want to say the spiritual beliefs of your youth, because I'm guessing you've probably, I don't know if you really grew up in it. I'm sensing like around your 20s is when you really got involved in it. But still, even so, walking away from something that you put a lot of faith into is very difficult and very courageous. So keep moving. You're going to find your groove, I promise. Someone has those little Chinese symbols, so I can't read that. And she says, I've been feeling really abandoned. Thank you for this chat. Well, I'm sorry you're feeling abandoned, and you're welcome. You're welcome for this chat. But I want you guys to just notice like all of the people that came up and commented on here. Scottish Bull 80. Why do I keep saying numbers 11, 11 through 3? Well, I did a video actually on angel numbers, so go check that out. Anyways, I want you guys to see how many people are here because they all resonate with this topic, so that right there can be your guys' community. So start talking to each other. This is great. Paige Lee says, howdy, Nicole. Well, hi there, Paige. Jack and Rose. Who else is here? Hilda. So there's a lot of you guys, and I'm actually about to, I think, end this chat, so I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. But if you have advice on how people can continue to move forward despite their doubts and their faith, or despite their doubts and despite feeling as if they're losing their faith, put those in the comment section down below, or put them in the chat right here, because what you experience can be very helpful to others. And what I love about the spiritual community is that there's no one size fits all. Right? Tomorrow I'm going to be recording a video. It probably won't be uploaded till next week because I'm very behind this week. But tomorrow I'm recording a video on how to know if you have a negative spirit attached to you. So we're going to be talking about spirit attachments, which is something that a lot of, I guess you could say, more of the light worker community tries to steer away from. But I feel it's important for us to talk about these things because I want you guys to be aware if this type of situation or experience ever pops up for you. And so what's really cool about that video is there's going to be a second video where we talk about how to disconnect those spirit entities. And I will be using a lot of advice that I got from this community because I put that question out there and said, hey, how would you guys take care of this? Like, what are some tips that you have for people who have a spirit attachment and want to get rid of it? And I already knew like a few things. So of course I wrote down my notes, but I wanted to see what you guys had to say. And there were a few responses that were brilliant. And I was like, wow, I never would have thought of that, So tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, next week, I'll be featuring those videos and I will be featuring some of your guys' answers. So the answers that you wrote to me either on YouTube or on Facebook is going to appear in the video. And of course, those of you whose suggestions I'm going to use will pop up in that video, so you'll get a shout out. So anyways, I want you guys to continue to be a part of this conversation. Put your comments in the comment section. I read them, and make sure that you check out the community tab that I have, because I every once in a while go in there. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to shoot some videos. What do you guys want to see? And if there's a topic that you want, you need to start communicating it with it, because this channel is about you guys. This is so that I can give you guys the answers that you're or I can answer your questions and help you guys build, I guess, kind of a spiritual base. Because I know what it feels like when you have these questions and you don't know who to turn to. And if I don't have the answer, trust me, I will find someone who does. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for, spending your morning or afternoon with me. I know that there are so many other places you can be, so many other things you could be doing right now, and you chose to be here. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to be very mindful of your time and honor the fact that you chose to be here with this community. And and I thank you so much for being a part of it. So I hope you guys have a most wonderful day. And I'm going to go drink some hot tea with some honey on it and see if I can get this throat to stop acting weird, right? Okay, guys, have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.